Hello, hello, my lovelies. Today we are going to be talking about my two-step framework for gaining more conversations. Okay. Now sit back, enjoy the training. This might be one of those videos where you might have to watch it twice. Okay. We're going to go into a lot of detail here because this is going to be a very integral part of your entire client generating system that we've been building here over the last several days. Okay, so just a warning, this video might get a little long. We'll see how long it is, okay? I don't know, right? Until we actually do it, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. And just know that you need to make sure that you are staying true to your solvable problem throughout this entire process. Okay, so I'll give you a couple of examples of what I've seen people doing when they're executing the power content or the value bomb exercise. And so a lot of you guys identified that you needed to get more people on the phone so that you can sell them your high ticket program, right? But then whenever I was checking over your value bomb, the call to action in your value bomb had something to do with a low ticket offer or something different, right? You have to make sure that everything that we are doing over the next 90 days is contributing to your solvable problem. This is where so many people get off the rails. They will say they want to book X amount of calls so that they can close X amount of clients, but then I see them here on the side building out a membership and trying to sell a low ticket. I'm like, but your solvable problem for the 90 days was getting people over the phone. If you need cash flow, getting people in Messenger to have a conversation or getting people over the phone is what you should be focused on for the entire 90 days so that you can get cash flow. Low ticket offers and memberships and all of that, that's the slowest path to cash. We're looking for the fastest path to cash, okay? So I'm going to give you guys a little example because I think just showing you guys what some of my clients are doing has been immensely helpful. And it is super, super important that you guys understand this before we get into today's lesson. So one of my Lean on Laurel clients, okay, I'm going to show you guys an advanced version, and then I'm going to show you guys an easy version. So this particular student right here, this particular student did his 90 days prior, okay? So this student had already done the work that I've been showing you guys over the last several days. He's already been doing it over the last 90 days. And so when we did the case formula, remember, if you don't know what case is, go back to the very first video. Collect, audit, strategize, and execute, okay? His goal, the first go round, meaning the last 90-day period that we went through, his goal was just to sign on one new client, and he ended up signing two, okay? So his first solvable problem was getting into 100 messenger conversations, right? Because if he has that metric, because a lot of you guys aren't setting measurable metrics for your solvable problem, okay? So I left this blank right here because I'm gonna walk you through how he found out his solvable problem, because some of you guys, if you go back over 90 days, you might have this data. You're going to collect it, you're going to audit, you're going to strategize and execute, okay? So this particular Lean on Laurel student, check this out. Over the last 90 days, he did 36 two-step posts, and don't worry, we're going to go over those today. Out of those 36 posts, he got 89 comments, so he averaged about 2 to 3 comments per post. He got 73 messenger conversations, so 82% of those comments turned into a viable messenger conversation. From that messenger conversation, he booked 26 phone calls, which gives him a 35% conversion rate from messenger to phone call. This is really, really good. This is the math that so many of you guys are going to be too lazy to do, but there's going to be a small percentage of you guys who are going to do this, and you are going to be like, oh my God, was it this easy the entire time? Yes. But so many people are too lazy to just simply go back and collect the data so that you can audit it. Okay. Now I'm going to show you guys next what to do if you don't have any of this, but my guess is that a lot of you guys already have this. So check this out. So how do we come up with this solvable problem, right? Well, there's two ways that we could go about it, right? Because think about this. If 82% of comments turn into a messenger conversation, 35% of messenger conversations turn into a phone call, and he's got a 19% closing rate, which is almost 20. So he's closing 1 in 5, right? So if he wants 5, so he could easily get 25 phone calls, right? To sell 5, right? Sorry, he got 2. That was my bad. Let me readjust right there. See? Sometimes so 2 divided by 26 times 100 is 7%. So he's only got a 7% closing rate. I knew there was something wrong. I knew there was two places we could work on. So there's 2 things that we could work on, right? If he got 2 sales right here, if he can get this up to 20%, right? Because then if he can close, let's do the math, 20% times 26, that would be 5, right? So if he does nothing except so one solvable problem can be increase closing rate to 20%, right? Now remember, a lot of gurus would want you to be like, well, he needs to start running ads, and if he wants to go from 2 clients a month to 5, he should be running a webinar. He should be doing this. Absolutely not. If he just works on closing from 7% to 20%, right? 0.20, the way that I got that number is 0.20 times 26. If I come here, right, I think you could do this, right? 0.20 times 26 is 5.2. So by just working on this, he would have his goal without changing any other thing. And so the entire 90 days, he would be working on his sales process. He would do everything the same except maybe invest in a closing course, maybe work with a sales coach on how to close more calls, right? The other thing, so let's say we just want to leave his close rate at 7%. The other hole is here. He could also work on his value bomb being more valuable, because if he can get average 5 comments per post, that's going to be an additional 150 comments, right? Well, not an additional, but it's going to bump this up. So if he's getting 5 comments per post, 5 times 36. So if we do 5 times 36, 180, that will be 180 comments, right? And if he's turning 82% of those into messenger conversations, let's see, 0.82 times 180, 147. So that'll give him 147, right? That'll be 147 messenger conversations. And then 35% of those messenger conversations go to a phone call. So we'll do 0.35 times 147 is 5145. So that would increase his phone calls to 51. And then if we do 51 times 0.07, let's see what 7%. So if we go, let's see, 51 times 0.7%, I would get him about 4 sales, right? But hopefully, even if he's just improved by 3%, right, by having more calls, that will get him his 5 closings. So you see how I stepped into this? So if we go back, right? So I did all of the numbers, right? You followed how I did that there. So he could either work on getting more comments, or if he increases his closing costs. So increasing closing rate to 20%, or averaging 5+ comments per post. That is his solvable problem. Okay. See, guys, like, people don't teach you guys that there's metrics to be measured in organic traffic. Okay. So what happens if you're a brand new client? You don't have any of this data. This is what I recommend. So if your goal is to enroll 9 new clients in the next 90 days, I would try to this is the solvable problem that I would go with, right? Because you have nothing to collect, assess, or strategize and execute. You do not have that, right? But what we do need to create is, what is a measurable way to get here, okay? Your solvable problem could be, okay, how many posts do I need to make in order to get 100 messenger conversations, right? Or you can say, how many comments do I need to get in order to get 100 conversations? Or your solvable problem can be, if I get 100 people in Messenger, how many of those people can I convert or get on a phone call? So it just depends, right? That's another example of a solvable problem. You don't have any metrics to plug in, but you still need to create, what is this solvable problem? If I get 100 people in Messenger, how many of those can I enroll into my program? Or if I can get 100 Messenger conversations, how many people can I get on a phone call, right? Because then the entire 90 days, you're doing what I'm about to show you. At the end of the 90 days, you will have this very simple math problem. But here's the problem. So many of you guys right now are like, fuck, that looks hard. Yes, it's hard. And that's why I always tell people, like, this is not just a 7-day process. It is not just a 90-day process. It takes 90 days just to get the data that we need in order to know what to fix, right? But how awesome is it that this Lean on Laurel client now knows the 2 black holes that he needs to fill in order to go from 2 clients to 5 clients? This is life-changing. 2 clients a month, that's $6K a month, to go to $15K a month. You think my Lean on Laurel clients willing to sit down and do the math on that? Hell yeah. This is freedom. In a way, this is freedom too. But this is, so the way that he got to 2 clients a month, so he went from $0 to $6,000 a month doing nothing but this. This was his first solvable problem. After this, this is his next. And so now, quarter 3, he knows exactly what he needs to do in order to double that. And then this is really life-changing, from $6,000 a month to $15K a month. And you could see, very, very simple to do. And so what I'm about to show you guys, okay, is super, super important, okay? So part 2, we're going to talk about posts that will drive this strategy, okay? Now, the first thing that we have to understand is something that a lot of people call pipeline equity. I have heard several gurus call it this, and so I'm going to go ahead, and I don't want to confuse you guys, because I feel like so many gurus make up different terms for the same thing just to keep you guys further confused. I have heard it, what I'm about to explain, called pipeline equity by several people, so I'm just going to stick to that phrase. I did not make it up. Like I said, I have heard several people call what I'm about to explain pipeline equity, okay? So a lot of people don't understand my value post, right? People are so confused as to why I run ads to power content and do not ask people for a name or email. Or I'll run power content with zero call to action and nothing but value. Or I will post a video on my profile with nothing but value. No two-step, no nothing, just value posts, okay? Value posts increase, stay with me here, okay? It increases goodwill with my audience, okay? Value post increases goodwill, okay? So just imagine, remember I told you guys that whenever I first started my business, I did a lot of videos. I went like live 100 days in a row, right? Actually, it was more like 120, right? Sales posts decrease it, okay? So check this out. I'm gonna do this just to prove my point, okay? So think about this, and this is what pipeline equity means, okay? When you post a lot of goodwill content, your people will see you as a very valuable resource. And so whenever you create a sales post, like a direct sales post, this goodwill, right, is going to shrink because you just tried to sell them something, okay? This right here is the way that I like to balance it. As a matter of fact, I like to even balance it off a little bit more. Like I like to be this much with less equity and this much in value, okay? So the more value that you can give your audience, the more goodwill is in your pipeline. But every time that you post a direct sales message, your goodwill decreases with your audience. And so we want to be very careful. How many of you guys know a couple of people who all they do is they post sales copy all day long? Does it work to get sales? It works at first, but then that pipeline equity starts to get lower and lower and lower. And so I like to keep a balance to where I have goodwill is at 75% and sales is only 25%. I like to keep way more pipeline equity. Okay. So these two types of posts right here are going to make sure that your goodwill keeps increasing with your audience. And then I'm going to show you one post that will get you sales, but it will decrease your goodwill. And we want to, again, make sure that we are keeping the goodwill pumping, because the more that we can keep that goodwill pumping, which by the way, will lead to sales. I'm going to show you guys how my two-step framework will allow you to get sales while keeping your goodwill with your audience. Okay? What I'm about to show you is a way to sell while increasing your goodwill on a regular basis. The first type of post is the power content post. Okay? Check this out. Okay, you can see my power content headline, promise of value, and my value bomb. Okay, so my value bomb here is got ads that aren't working. I just released a free course called Fix Your Ads in 30 Minutes. Want it? You know what to do. You can see I got 51 comments and 2 shares. Now, people were raising their hands saying, yes, I want your Fix Your Ads course in 30 minutes. I did not send them to a opt-in. An opt-in is asking people for like a sales action, right? Why do they need my, and it decreases goodwill because people are like, well, why does she need my email address? Like she just told me she'd give this for me for free. So what we're going to do to increase goodwill is we are going to gift them the course with no opt-in, and we are going to enhance the experience that they have with this course by having a messenger conversation with them, and we're going to help them solve an immediate problem. Okay, and I'm going to show you guys what that messenger conversation is going to look like. But it's no secret here, if people are recommending a course called Fix Your Ads in 30 Minutes, what type of conversation do you think I'm going to have in Messenger? And once I diagnose their problem, what do you think they're going to ask me? How do I work with you? I'm not asking them to work with me, right? Every time I ask someone to work with me, it decreases my goodwill. I want to keep the goodwill flowing. So power content, I don't have to go over content, power content. You guys have been knee deep in power content, okay? Now, here is a really amazing post, guys. You can see here 171 comments. These types of posts also increase goodwill because you are giving people something in return for their input, okay? So you can see here, which type of marketing is your bottleneck right now? Is it organic marketing, Facebook ads, YouTube ads, or email marketing? Here's the thing though. Before you do a research post, I want you to do 7 days of power content before this, okay? If you go to this right off the bat, people might be like, is this going to be a sales thing? We want to increase the goodwill. Then once people get used to you doing these posts and they know that there's a lot of value in it, you're going to be able to do these more often. And the really cool thing, guys, is this is excellent research to see exactly where your audience is stuck. Okay. So in this post, I said free gift for everyone who gives me their input. Which type of marketing is your bottleneck right now? Organic marketing, Facebook ads, YouTube ads, or email marketing? Here's the way that I respond. Okay. So Mr. Kevin said D. Now, this is the way the two-step's going to work. I'm not just going to take Kevin into Messenger. I'm going to ask him a qualifying question. I want to ask one more question so that I can get more engagement on this post, and then I want to figure out a way to bring him into Messenger. So you can see, Kevin, what part about emails has you stuck? Content, open rates, or conversion? So notice I gave him more choices to choose from. I did not just say, what about email marketing isn't working? If you give people choices to choose from, they are more likely to engage in conversation. And that's why I like to keep my research posts to multiple choice. And I like to keep my comments to multiple choice whenever I'm asking them a qualifying question. And so he said, Laurel, content, think of buying into an AI content writing program. I told him, Kevin, you can write better. I promise. Let me dig out my strategy that's super easy and works really well. And so now Kevin knows that I'm going to send him my stupid, simple email marketing strategy. Okay. Now here's the thing, guys. Because I did weeks of power content and I created different value bombs with those different pieces of power content, I now have something that I can leverage in order to get people to watch more pieces of my content. Because I did power content based on different levels of organic marketing, Facebook ads, YouTube ads, email marketing. So whatever people answer, content, open rates are, so chances are I have done pieces of power content on content, open rates, and conversions. So it makes the conversations in Messenger much more valuable. That is why I am challenging you guys to do one piece of power content, creating training on micro steps of your entire methodology, your signature methodology, so that whenever you are doing these research posts and you're able to help bring people that small win in Messenger, the more that we can get people to consume our content, the more that we increase that goodwill. Okay. So once I have people in the comments and I've told them I'm going to send something, what is that conversation going to look like in Messenger? I'm glad you asked. I'm actually going to show you guys that. Okay. But I want to show you the direct sales post because you will want to make one of these maybe every 2 weeks. We want to make sure that we are filling our pipeline with pipeline equity, lots of goodwill. Fill that pipeline with a lot of goodwill. Okay. Because remember, for every sales post, this is going to decrease some. So I recommend a direct post, and I recommend some version of your power offer. As you can see right here, I posted my power offer that I teach you guys in the $7 program and that Joel Erway teaches in depth in that workshop. Okay. So I did a sales post, and you can see 40 people raised their hand saying, hey, I want to be a part of that Discovery Call Accelerator. So boom, out of the 40, I think I sold 21. So you do want to make a sale, but this is more direct. Okay. But in order to fill our pipeline, we want to do more indirect, right? This is going to fill goodwill, and it's going to generate a lot of volume, which you need in order to figure out your solvable problem. Okay? Okay. Hold tight, guys. Final stretch. Part 3. The real value of 2 steps. What people think they are versus what they are actually for. Okay? There is a misconception. I'm going to go back up here. There is a misconception that people think I give people these value bombs just so that I could pixel people and retarget. Okay? Here's the thing. That is a bonus of doing value bombs. You could put value bombs on a landing page. You can put them on Google Docs that have a pixel using PixelMe. Here, I'll actually do that because people are going to ask that. I already know. So PixelMe allows you to put your pixel on anything and retarget. So whenever I was using the Google Documents, usually they're going to be a PixelMe link. I've gotten sophisticated, and I just started putting my value bombs on a landing page. But a lot of people think that's the point of my 2 steps. No. No, no, no. 2 steps equal conversations that equal fast path to cash. Remember, this entire time, we want to optimize to get more conversations. Why? Conversations, fastest path to cash. This is why we want to make sure that our value bombs have a way for us to be able to solve our solvable problem. If your solvable problem is to get more calls, the call to action on your value bomb is to get more phone calls, not to do something else. You guys get way distracted. 2 steps equal conversations, fastest path to cash. So what the heck do those conversations in Messenger look like, and where are people going wrong? The main one is they are just dropping the value bomb in Messenger. Literally, this is where most people go wrong. They're just dropping the value bomb in Messenger and expecting people to just do the value bomb and then automatically book calls. No, 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 no. This is what we are going to do. This is my execution framework, okay? The very first thing I'm going to do is not drop the value bomb in Messenger. I don't know if that value bomb is going to be of value to that person. Here's the thing, okay? A lot of people cannot fathom why I still do Messenger conversations. Well, Laurel, you're at almost your second 7 figures. You're making over $1 million. Why are you still doing your own Messenger conversations? Because freaking Messenger conversations make me money. Messenger conversations help you guys. Messenger conversations lead to a massive amount of goodwill. Goodwill leads to massive money and conversations. This whole strategy is designed to get you more conversations because conversations are the fastest path to cash. If you cannot master this right here, you're going to have a very hard time being able to master a webinar strategy or an ad strategy, right? Because think about this. We're going to do this in blocks because guess what? Once you master this organically and we start throwing $5 ads here to get this content in front of more people, this adds fuel to the fire that's already burning. I guarantee if my client fixes this, and then we add $5 strategies to this is going to triple easy. But we have to micro step into it. Okay. So here's my execution framework for Messenger. This is mine and only mine. I am not recommending that you use it. I am just simply saying this is what I teach my clients. This is how I personally do it. If you don't do it this way, don't come telling me, hey, it ain't working. I can't offer support on something I'm not doing. I can only offer you guys support on what I do and what I've helped my clients do. If you go rogue on this, I cannot help you. Okay? I can only tell you this is how I do it, okay? Step one, I tell them why I am messaging them. This is super important. Sometimes people forget. Sometimes it takes me 5 days to get back to everyone who's commenting because look at this. Like if I have 40 comments or I do a post like this where I have 171 comments, it'll take me a long time to get through them. But if I do a post like this post will fill my pipeline for about a month of leads. And I won't have to do, and then I could just do power content without a CTA. And it'll just send my goodwill higher, right? Because if I do, watch, it'll look like this, right? Because if I do a post like this will keep my leads in my pipeline for a month to where I won't even have to post another research post. And I'm just going to do power content with no value bomb. I'm not going to do a value bomb because I don't need conversations. This one is feeding all of the conversations I'm going to need for the month. So my goodwill is going to, you guys see this? Like this is huge. Okay. So this is how it goes. Okay. So I tell them why I'm messaging them. So for instance, hey, Drew, I'm messaging you here because you said that you're having issues with your email strategy. Tell me a little more context. Like how many people are on your list? What on average is your current open rate? Okay, then I'm going to shut up. I'm going to give him time to answer. It might take a day or two. If they don't answer after 2 days, I say, hey, bumping this up for just in case this fell into your messenger. If they don't respond, that's cool. That's okay. We can follow up with them in 7 more days, and I'll give you guys a tool to be able to do this. Number 3, I diagnose the problem based on the information that they've given me. A lot of people ask me the question, Laurel, how do you sell in Messenger? I don't. If I do this correctly and I diagnose the problem based on the information they've given me, I either one, give them the value bomb that they asked for, or I will give them another value bomb that is better suited. If I don't have a value bomb that is better suited, I will create one and I'll shoot them a Loom video of how they can use it. But almost every time I take in this information based on what they've given me, and I don't just give them the value bomb. I send them a short Loom video telling them how the value bomb can be useful given the information that they've given me. Does this take a lot of time? Hell yeah. Is it worth it? Fuck yeah. You get really good at this, you will never have to pitch in your messenger ever, ever, ever. You will never have to pitch. Every messenger conversation, I am looking just to be as helpful as freaking possible. If you dedicate your time to executing this strategy that I've been showing you guys over the last several days, your business will be so much different. One of the things I do, and a lot of people don't know this, like in my Lean on Laurel program, a lot of people think my Lean on Laurel program is about me teaching the strategy. No, I teach you guys the strategy in the $7 program. What we do in Lean on Laurel is troubleshooting and optimization. So for instance, we have a call where my students will bring me their messenger conversations and they will say, Laurel, can you take a look at this messenger conversation? Where did I go wrong? And then I will help them optimize it for later. Okay. If you guys bring me a messenger conversation on the Ask Laurel post in the $7 program, I will help you. I will tell you where you went wrong. Put it on a Google Doc, throw it on a Google Doc, just kind of like what I did here. And I will give you recommendations in the Ask Laurel post. Okay. For those of you guys who don't know, I recently changed the onboarding for my Lean on Laurel program. I now make it mandatory for my students to book a power hour with me before joining Lean on Laurel. But if you are going through this organic marketing sprint and you want to be inside Lean on Laurel, you tell me that you watched this video day 6 and that I excused you from the power hour, and I will help you with all of this from start to finish, from creating your solvable problem to being able to execute your power content, your direct post, your indirect post, this entire thing. So if you want to be like my clients in the program who are having me help them through every single, you'll see, here's one of my clients right here. First 90 days, he made his money back. So that Lean on Laurel is $1,000 a month. He got 2x return on his money. And then this next 90 days, we're taking him to 15K. And then I'm going to cut him loose because he's learned everything that he needs. But if he wants to learn how to set this on fire with $5 ads, he'll probably stay another month. So if you want to learn this plus the $5 ads that is going to set this strategy on fire, send me a direct message and say, Laurel, I'm on day 6. You said I did not have to book a power hour. I want in on Lean on Laurel. Okay. This offer is just for people who are going through the organic marketing sprint. Okay. Just for you guys. So, because I know that if you went through this entire organic marketing sprint, you are ready with an action plan that we can optimize over the next month, over the next 2 months, or over the next 3 months. There is no minimum to buy in Lean on Laurel. I do it on a monthly basis because some people come in, they're able to execute everything they want in the first month, and that's okay. And that's what I wanted it to be. I want people to be able to leave as soon as they want to, and I wanted people to be able to stay as long as they wanted to. And that's why it's just billed monthly. That's it. No minimum, no maximum. Anyway, I hope that you guys got a lot of value out of this. I did promise you guys a resource. Okay, so here is the resource that I am going to give you guys. I'm actually going to throw this here. I'm going to copy this, and I'm actually going to, let's see, I'm going to add it just at the top of the document here. I'm going to go resource. I'm going to throw this. Again, this is something I typically only share with my Lean on Laurel clients, but because you guys went through all of this, I am going to send you this resource. So what this is a 2-step tracker, okay? So you could actually write their first name, put the link to their Facebook profile, you put their connection date and the day that you made an intro, right? So maybe you became friends with them on this date. You don't have to do this. Like this is more for people who are like connecting on LinkedIn, but we use this for 2 steps. So check this out. You put this date that they asked for the 2-step for the value bomb. It will remind you to follow up with them on these dates. Pretty freaking cool, huh? And so I'm actually going to throw this. So if you put their name, their profile, the day that you made an intro, you could skip the connect date. Well, maybe it is. You put the connect date. But you could also, if you're doing it just for that, like you could always just do like, let's say 12, 12, let's see, December, what is it today? December 13th, 2022. And then maybe let's see, I forgot how to make this work. I might have messed it up by just doing that, but let's see. 12 December 22. Maybe do that. I don't know. I already forgot how to make this sheet work. I'll let you guys who are like really good at making these Excel sheets work. Like I said, I'm gonna give it to you right here. Play with it. It's gonna be able to, and then you can like say they replied, they became a lead, they booked a call, or they said no, whatever, or they started ghosting you. But it'll remind you, like if you haven't heard from them. So let's say you sent. So this is how this works. So let's say you sent them a checklist on April 22nd. April 18th. It'll remind you, have you heard from them? So April 25th, you can they call it a booster. And then the event, you can invite them to a live training or whatever. But my students find this helpful. Like I said, this is something that one of my clients gave me that they use for LinkedIn, but I find that it also works really well. So let me see if I do this. So maybe it's up here, 12, 13, 22. Maybe, I don't know. Is it correct? 420. See, I did this. Maybe, I don't know how I broke it. But I somehow broke it, but maybe one of you guys can figure it out. But anyway, it'll auto-populate if it auto-populates. If I can't get it to work, I'll just ask my student for a clean copy. But anyway, hopefully you guys got a lot of value out of this. I had a lot of fun teaching this method. It's one of my favorite things to do. There's that resource right there. My apologies if it's broken, but at least it'll get you started on being able to track all of this. But hopefully now you guys have a better understanding of overall how to execute the two-step framework, because there has been so many misconceptions on how to actually execute it. This is the most effective way that I have personally found in order to be able to do that. So like I said, if you guys have any questions, post it in the Ask Laurel post, and I will be ready to rock and roll with you. For those of you guys who want in on Lean on Laurel, just send me a direct message saying, hey, day 6, you told me you could waive the power hour fee for me. So I'll go ahead and do that. So you guys have an amazing day. I will see you guys tomorrow, where I'm going to be showing you guys how to create more content utilizing your 15 pieces of content exercise.